But we seem to see some issues that are beginning to unravel. We've had this problem between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, the FCT minister. They were like political son and father, as it were, and they belong to the same political family. A lot was done to stop Fubara from becoming governor. The FCT minister did everything possible to persuade his colleagues to keep him, to ensure that he was nominated and voted. And Rivers people voted for him. Well, those who may think otherwise may have their reasons, but the point is that Rivers people voted for him and he won the ticket. First, the Guba ticket from his party, and secondly, from the people of Rivers State. And in line with the March 18 election.
Yes.
And of course, the matters have gone through the tribunal. Today is within the apex court that has reserved judgment.
Yes.
And that will be within the week. Next week, we're going to get the outcome. But there was a problem between the political family, and that led to mass resignation of members of his cabinet. From the Attorney General to virtually all of them, or 9 of them. And they resigned in mass. And most of those who resigned were commissioners that were nominated by the former minister, as it were, to the government. And the government accepted them. They were screened and cleared and appointed and given portfolios. And part of the agreement after the crisis that rocked the relationship to the foundation, the crisis that started from the assembly. You recall the story of attempted impeachment.
Yes.
You recall the story of an attempt to burn down the house, which led to the demolition of the assembly. All this happened in the wake of that crisis. You saw there was a division in the house, that a particular 5 member of the house formed their own assembly, appointed a speaker, and the speaker approved the appropriation law, as it were. They seem to have gotten their powers from the pronouncement of a high court that gave an interim order ousting the other members of the house on the basis of the fact that they jumped boat, as it were. And all this has led to some political constitutional crisis, as it were. And the 2 parties, the Amehule-led assembly went to court. This other person's governor went to court. A lot of cases are in court.
Yeah.
And there has been a call for the declaration of the seats of this present assembly vacant on the basis of Section 109 and other subsections appertaining to anybody who cross carpets to another political party when there appears to be a crisis. Whatever the situation is, it's simply for the courts to analyze. Well, there was a mediation.
Yes.
And that mediation came from the president. And an 8-point pact was signed, part of which led the commissioners to go back, the appropriation bill should be represented, the matter should be withdrawn from court. The screening and clearing of this assemblyman is part of that 8-point pact.
Yes.
So take.
Yes, I think from the foregoing, we can see for ourselves that there is no crisis in Rivers State. There is no crisis at all. If we tell ourselves that there is crisis, then we're not telling the truth. Because if you go to the internet or to the website of INEC to see the timetable for the February 3rd elections,
Okay.
you will understand.
Which are by-elections?
Yes, with the by-elections. You will understand that Rivers State is not involved. It's only for 9 states in 2 senatorial districts. And let's come back to Rivers State and view what is happening. In Rivers State, what I see is there is power tussle. Power tussle between the FCT minister and the Fubara himself. Now, we need to understand what is actually happening between these two people. The point is that what we have observed so far is that the people, the politicians who have been working with the FCT minister do not actually give complete, when I mean complete, total recognition, total obedience, total respect, loyalty to the governor. That's just the problem. They
have divided loyalty.
Yes, they have divided loyalty. They see themselves as people or as followers of their leader, who, when they present their matter to him, whatever thing that he says, they would want the governor to implement.
Okay, good. Now that they are going back to the fold, the cabinet of, so do you think there's going to be loyalty?
Of course, there's going to be loyalty at this time. At this time, if
because there's reconciliation.
Yes, because there's reconciliation. Politics, the way I see politics is agreement and disagreement. There is all encompassing. Both those people, those that are fresh in the political scene, and those that have been there for a while now. So what I see that is playing between the two parties is that they have disagreed, but now they have agreed. And they want what they have agreed, which is the 8-point agenda, to be implemented. Now, and I think they're following the process.
A lot of Rivers commentators, a lot of political followers, those who are following the crisis, think that there is a constitutional crisis.
Yes,
you said the Rivers State is not going to be involved in the February by-election.
Yes, they're not going to be.
That is because there has not been any declaration by any court. Do you foresee a constitutional crisis in the future arising from the fact that the Rivers State House of Assembly is still sitting? That is the point. This is a rhetorical question. It may not require a yes and no answer from you.
No, it's not objective. It's not objective.
It's rhetorical.
Yes.
I'm just posing a question to our listeners on the fact that there could be a constitutional crisis if, at the end of the day, we find that whatever the House is doing is declared illegitimate. That is, if anybody will go to court, or if any individual will go to court on the basis of the fact that there appears to be a constitutional problem within the assembly. Do you foresee that?
I don't think there will be any more crisis.
Okay.
Yes. Because at this stage, already the presidency has arrested the matter.
Okay.
The presidency has arrested the matter. And if you look at the movement of the governor, you will see him going to Abuja, meeting the president.
Going to where?
Yes. So there is a place now where he can go and lodge his complaint, and whomever will be called to order. So that's why I said there is no crisis now. Yes, there is no crisis.
Okay.